I sure do hope we are. Let me turn that off here real quick. Hopefully that didn't just cut us off. I don't think it did, but had to make sure of something here. There we are. Okay. Hopefully that didn't just throw everything off. I made a real quick adjustment there at the very end. Are we on here, folks? How are we doing tonight? Let me go ahead and wait here for... I'm really going to hope that I didn't come on and then go off again. But they're saying, "Woot, it's live." Okay, so we live now still. I didn't screw anything up. Okay,
on my screen.
Good. It's one of those, thank you, Candy. It's one of those things where I'm just nervous. I'm nervous all the time that something is going to be wrong because something is always wrong every single time I do one of these streams. So...
And I'm so far behind you when I'm getting on that I can't help you out.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, you'd think I've probably done 200 live streams by now. You would think I would know how to do it and I wouldn't need any help, but
yeah, you think.
Who knows? But, okay. So we've got so much to talk about tonight. So, and none of it's going to be about the NFL draft. I'm missing the NFL draft, and so are all of you to do this, but who cares about the NFL draft anyway? This is more important. Fish keeping stuff is much more important. Of course it is. We've got so very much to talk about. We got some stuff to show. We got some show and tell tonight, and we've got to talk about our new series, which I'm super excited about. But before we do, and then we got to get to the questions. What we've done here, folks, is we put out a message to our channel members. And we said, hey, here's your opportunity to steer the stream. What do you want to talk about? And they responded to that post. And we've got a bunch of questions from them. We got a whole lot of responses from the members. We're not going to be able to do them all because this live stream would be 8.5 hours long because you know the way I like to be wordy with things. Yeah. So it's not going to be able to be all of them. Oops. But we'll have a good time with it. So let me get this straight. There we go. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about here before we talk about anything else is I got to talk about my friend Bob. I'm not going to go into details about it because, it's his business and not ours. But I mean, he put it out there on the live stream. Bob unfortunately lost one of his dogs over the weekend. I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but I knew about it before he put it out there to the public, and I was wondering if he was going to put it out there, and he did. He almost made me have a creeper go down my cheek when I
did.
That was tough to watch, but good for him. I think that probably provided him with a little bit of therapy, but he's taking a therapy week off, and good for him. So, having been through what he has gone through recently. I mean, it feels like
3 years.
I know, that's so ridiculous. It feels like it was 2 weeks ago. And that's what I told him when he told me what was going on. I said, I've been through that very recently. 3 years ago isn't very recently, but it still feels very recent. So feel for him. And I hope he's doing well. I'm sure he's not watching this. If he is, you shouldn't be, Bob. You shouldn't be watching this. But if you are, I'm thinking about you, and I've been where you are many times, and it's the worst. So I'm thinking about you. Let me know when you want to make that trip to Virginia, and we'll put him on the couch or something, and put him up here for a couple days. But that would be a lot of fun. He was teasing me a little bit, talking about doing that. But of course, then the world fell apart, and.
Didn't you message him Monday night and you told him you're going to fly him here?
Yeah.
You never told me what happened with that. I'm assuming he said no because he
didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. And that's, I kind of was expecting that. But anyway, I don't want to bring everything down. I feel bad for my friend. And, I've been in that situation too many times and it's the worst. So just wanted to make sure I mentioned that in the very beginning. To shout him out and let him know that we're thinking about him. Got a couple of things to show you. Got some show and tell to do today. Talked about it last week, but I was alone last week. You weren't with us. we got some gifts, and we got more gifts today that we didn't know were coming. They just showed up to our house. So want to show that too, but want to start off with what came last week that I didn't show because I wanted you to be here with it. We got some gifts from Priscilla MK Art, which hopefully she's in here tonight. If she's not, then that's a shame, but hey, she's doing what she's got to do. You got to show yours first because you were the one that was sent the stuff.
Yes,
and then
I was so excited. It really made my day.
I'm going to put the camera on you so that people can see them better.
Okay, so these amazing pictures came in maybe, was it a week or two ago? No, it was last week because I remember, because I didn't come on last week. So anyway, I got these amazing, beautiful pictures, and I'm happy to say I have actually owned every single one of these fish, so it makes it even more special, and I cannot wait to frame them because they're going to go in my fish room with all my other beautiful pictures that I've received, and this is going to be the first one.
Beautiful.
I know. I love it. And they're going to be so much prettier, like in the frame, just because I'm going to make it pop, I mean, they're pretty without a frame, but once I frame them and put them up, I'm so excited. Hello, look at this one.
That's Bubbles.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yep. Absolutely gorgeous. So cute. Oh my goodness.
You got to say what these are.
Oh.
Celestial Pearl Danio.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Celestial Pearl Danios. I feel like I'm losing my voice. So anyway, I'm sorry. Of course. An Aranda. Whoa, hold up.
Yeah, you're a little high there. You can go down a little bit. There you go.
Yeah. This one, isn't he so cute?
Adorable.
And I love the way the plants are behind him. He's just gorgeous. Love them, love them, love them. Priscilla is so talented. So she decided to send you something too.
Yeah, you do sound like you're getting clogged up there.
Well, yesterday I was outside all day long. I had no idea it was Earth Day. Had no idea. And I woke up yesterday and was like, John, I'm going to go buy a tree. Just randomly said, I'm going to go buy a tree.
On Earth Day. How about that?
I had no idea it was Earth Day. Earth was calling to me. So I got up. We have a nursery that does curbside pickup. So I was very happy about that. And I went and I picked out a plum tree and 15 bags of mulch. So I was outside all day yesterday doing gardening and plant work. So I think the allergies kind of got to me.
Somebody just commented it was the Zen Ginger. Anyone else thinking at Lisa KG Tropicals looks especially fantastic this evening?
Oh, thank you.
She must be thriving in quarantine, super jelly.
Aw, I appreciate that. The funny thing is, I'm one of those people that I've never had to depend on like a hairstylist or someone to do my nails because I don't have nails. And I went to school to do hair, so I cut my own hair, I color my own hair. I don't let anybody mess with my hair, so it hasn't affected me one bit.
All right, I want to show my special things here now. That sounded really weird. Don't go there. I'm going to put the camera on me, so if you want to pick your nose or something like that, you can do it. Nobody's going to see. I think. Okay, wait a minute. Yep, I saw a weird thing there. I think Priscilla is trolling me a little bit because I said something a few weeks ago on a live stream where I said I've never had a pufferfish, and so she decided to send me a pufferfish drawing. I mean, come on now, folks. Hello. I mean, seriously, that is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to have like a whole wall of puffers now. I don't even own a puffer, but I've got Corey's Murph photo with him with the open mouth, which is really adorable. And then now I'm going to have this. So you got to love that. And then this one is very special because she knows what is happening in the chat? Why do people do this? She knows my obsession with arowanas. And when we were at the aquatic experience, I think it was 2018, she had a little one like the one of your Dario there.
Oh, yeah.
The little ones. And she gave me one of a super red arowana, which is just amazing. And she gave it to me. I didn't even know her then. And she was just like, here, take that. And she said that in her adorable little accent that she has. I'm like, hey, you don't have to give me anything. I'll buy it. She said, no, take it. So she knows I'm obsessed with these fish. She knows I have the little one. She decided, while she's sending Lisa all of her gifts, to send me the big version of it. And she wrote for John on it. So that makes me feel special. Yeah. Now, the for John, this is in a plastic sheath, so it's not actually on the picture, but I might frame it like this with the little for John on there just because it makes me feel good. But absolutely awesome. I mean, if that's not gorgeous, then I don't know. If you don't think that's gorgeous, I don't know what's wrong with you, because this thing is absolutely amazing. And I love it. One of the things that I love about it the most is the one that I have is really, really small. Like example, that picture right there. That is a picture that Rack Cross from River Life made for us. It's a picture of you and I holding the silver play button, and it was like a congratulatory thing that he made for us when we passed 100,000 subscribers. You can't see it because it's way, way back there. So that little one that I have from Priscilla, if I was to put that way back there too, you'd never see it. So now this thing can go way, way back and you'll be able to see it. I'll put it right above the 400-gallon 360. That'll be absolutely perfect. So thank you, Priscilla.
You're going to have, once you get that side of the room for your fish tanks, you're going to have some really gorgeous pictures up there. Because we've gotten
so many. It's crazy.
Nice pictures. I love them all. And Priscilla is an extra special person to me. So,
and all the people that criticized me on the live stream, and they said, when's John going to get off his lazy ass and hang those pictures for Lisa? You can't really see it. Well, you kind of can, but they're all up on the walls. All the ones that you bought are up on the walls, including the Audrey Hepburn one. They're all up there. I didn't do it. She did it. That's why I didn't put them up for her. It's not that I didn't want to. She wanted to do it herself. Yes. So,
but John did help me with my office, because since he moved down here and this is like his office / fish room area now, I got the office upstairs and I completely redid it, and I had him help me build some shelves or put some shelves on the wall. So my office has pretty much turned into a greenhouse because it's just plants. I mean, I love plants.
Not planted aquariums, except for the George tank.
King George,
but
yeah,
it's beautiful. It looks a lot better than it did when I was up there.
Maybe I'll do a members only video on it or something, because I don't think people are going to want to watch it or see it on the channel. Like,
you could film a video.
There. Yeah, but it's more of a planted thing, not a. But yeah,
I got stuff all over my shirt. Yeah, so. Yeah, the office looks gorgeous. This is starting to come around. I talked about it last week. We brought the 75 down last week, and my last week of quarantine. I did go back to work this week, which was agonizing, but hey, you got to go out there and make a living, right? The 75 is down here. The other 10s are down here. The garage is starting to clear out. Stuff is starting to come down here. But of course, because of the quarantine, I can't assemble an army of people to come over here and help with the big tanks. So those are going to get put on hold. We're going to talk about the big tanks in a minute, because one of the questions that was submitted by a member was about moving the big tanks. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But before I get into that, I want to talk about something that we are going to be doing. We don't have a date yet of exactly when it's going to start, but I mentioned it briefly last week, but I want to get into it in a little bit more detail here today. And that is a new series of videos that we're starting up very, very soon. Now, to get into that, I did do something big this week. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, I bought a new camera.
Oh, yeah.
I bought a new camera for the YouTube channel. I don't have it in my possession yet, because Jeff Bezos is not shipping things very quickly, but I understand. I'm not mad. It's supposed to come Monday, but I got my fingers crossed that it's going to get here this weekend. Bought a new camera because we're always trying to improve, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. As YouTubers, we are trying to deliver value. I know that's cliche, and we're trying to do it in as good a way as possible. And we're trying to get better every single video that we do. And one of the ways we're doing that is by upgrading our camera. So I bought one of the big dogs. And let me just tell you something.
Wait, you didn't get the one, right? I did talk you off the ledge.
Well, and it wasn't hard because this is the one that I wanted anyway. Okay. See, listen, all my YouTube career, if you want to call it that, I started out on a small Canon camcorder. It's trash. It was just stupid. If you watch the first probably 100 videos, that's what I used on there. Probably even more than that. It might have even been like 300 videos were filmed on a Canon camcorder. It's not a DSLR. It's just a junk camera. Anybody that's using those, hey, I'm glad you're doing that. Don't be offended by me saying it's junk. Mine was a piece of junk. I always had my sights on the Canon D series cameras, which when I started on YouTube, it was the 60D. I would look at that and be like, oh, that is such an amazing camera. It's like my holy grail camera. And then it moved up to the 70D. And I remember being in Chicago in 2015 with Joey when he was actually at events still filming. He doesn't film anymore because he's too much of a big shot now. He's not walking around with a camera anymore. But he used to walk around with a camera, and I think he had a 70D. He might have had an 80D. And I remember being like, oh, maybe someday I can be successful on YouTube and I can get one of those too. And then the 80D came out, and that's like the holy grail camera for everybody on YouTube. Everybody loves the 80D. That's what Casey Neistat uses and talks about it all the time. It's always been to me the holy grail, the untouchable. And that's what I bought. I didn't buy the 80D. I bought the 90D, the newest version of it. And it's literally like a dream come true for me to be able to do that. And I have you to thank. I have you, the viewers, you for giving me permission, and Donald Trump to thank for that. I just got demonetized. But yeah, the stimulus thing is going to help kind of make that a little easier to get that camera.
Kind of gave my money away.
Well, no, mine.
No, I meant mine. Well, because I had a stray cat spayed.
Oh, yeah.
I donated some money to animal places.
Did you?
So, yeah. But anyway, that's besides the point.
So, yeah, I mean, I was in a very sentimental moment there, and you had to, you talking about very sentimental things too. But yeah, it's a big deal for me to be able to get that camera. It's been one of those that has been, it's been my untouchable holy grail camera for the longest time. So that's going to be coming. Hopefully, I hope it shows up tomorrow. Then I'll just completely obsess over it all weekend long. But anyway, why are you?
Because you're so funny.
Why? You mess me up. Your laugh is too cute. Just laugh without laughing. You mess me up when you laugh, because
I'm gonna put a wall up.
I could face this way and then I wouldn't be able to see you. But no, I like being able to see you. So anyway, listen. The reason why I took the plunge and ordered my fantasy camera is because of this new series. We're always in the pursuit of getting better, and it's kind of hard to get better on YouTube if you don't know what you're going to talk about. And that's one of the things that I have been worried about losing sleep over for the longest time is, what are we going to do when we run out of topics to talk about? And I was sitting down a couple of weeks ago, doing some thinking, doing some obsessing over YouTube analytics, which is what YouTubers do. You even do it now too.
What?
Obsessing over YouTube analytics. And when I look at my analytics, I see all these super chats coming through, and y'all are very generous. We will get to you very soon. Don't worry. It's not a big secret when you look at our channel, what has kind of catapulted our channel to the next level. It's our 10 Things series. Everybody knows that. It's not hiding from anybody. It is what it is. I have always been under the impression that what has taken the reason why 10 Things is doing well is because of the top 10 list format. I've always thought, you've already heard all this. It's like, I'm hearing this again because this is how I pitched it to her. But I always assumed it was the top 10 format. It's very algorithm friendly when it comes to YouTube. It promotes a lot of watch time. It's very searchable, and people like top 10 formats. So I've always thought that that's just what it is. That's why the series does well, is because of the top 10 list. But then it occurred to me that I don't think that that's it at all. I think that that has a lot to do with it, but I think that there's something else to it too, and that is the production value of those videos. I put a lot of time, a lot of editing, a lot of color grading, a lot of B-roll, and all of this into that to make a really good presentation. I do my best. I try very hard. And I came to the realization that it's the production more than it is the top 10 format. And so with that in mind, I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. Why couldn't we start to make a series of videos that are not a top 10 list, but they are of that same production quality, where we're doing the same tricks, we're doing the same little things, it's the same style, but it's not a top 10 format.
It's a top 11, right?
It's no, top 9. No, and when I was pitching this to you at that point of the conversation, I think you said, are you going to want to do top 5s now? But no, it's not top 5s. No, it's not a list format at all. When I pitched this idea to you, and I don't mean pitch it like I had to convince her. When I said to her, hey, I have an idea, maybe we should do this. You were all in, 100% like, yes, this is amazing. I love it. Let's do it. The idea was we can go back to the basics. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Oh man, that's all John ever does. He makes videos that are entry level stuff and all of this. Well, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. It's our goal of our channel to keep fish keepers fish keeping. And I believe that the overwhelming majority of fish keepers are on the verge of quitting this hobby. I don't have data to back me up on that. Maybe I should ask that unlimited database Corey McElroy if it's true, but I believe it's true that we lose more fish keepers every year than we gain. And so that maybe not more, but we probably lose almost as much.
And they quit because they don't have
they get frustrated.
enough information or
they don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn. There's a ton of great YouTube channels out there that do great content. We all know that, but they lose interest because they get frustrated. And so our goal has always been to help those people so that we can keep those people in the hobby. And so my idea was, let's continue to cater to those people. Let's continue to feed those people with easy to understand, basic, no frills except for the production value, but give them these important topics that center around this beautiful hobby of ours and do it in a way that's easy to digest and easy to understand without being overwhelming and talking about all of these fancy scientific terms and all this kind of stuff, the way we've always done it, and do it with the same production value as 10 Things. And we don't have a name for this series yet. I would love to call it Keep Fish Keepers Fish Keeping. I would love that to be the name of the series. But the problem is you always break it down into acronyms, and the acronym would be KFKFK. And that sounds way too similar to an organization down south that only likes white people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we could use KFKFK as the name of the series, but It's going to be something along those lines. I don't know what it's going to be. It doesn't even need a name. Then, we could just do whatever we want to do. But I don't even know that it's going to have a name, but it is going to be a new series. This is a series of videos that we're going to add each week. They're going to be on Tuesdays. And so the good thing about it is we're not giving up on 10 things. However, there is the constant threat that 10 things will someday have run its course. And it will break my heart when that happens, because that's been a really big part of our channel. We would not be here if it wasn't for that channel. If I hadn't had that great idea, we would not be sitting here in front of 438 people. Who knows what we'd be doing. But I don't want that channel to go away. I'd like to do, or not, why do I keep saying channel? I don't want that series to go away. I'd like to keep doing 10 things forever if we could. However, one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to run its course, and we'll know that by looking at the analytics and seeing that people are just kind of bored of it. It's the same old thing over and over and over again. A lot of YouTubers are guilty of this. I've certainly done this in the past too, where you hang on to something just a little too long. You do something and it works. And so every week you start doing it again and again and again and again and again. And people like it a lot and everything's great. But then after a while, they're like, okay, this is getting a little bit too much. So if the numbers start to go down and the watch time starts to go down and people aren't engaging, and then okay, this series has run its course. It's time to quit. Either that's going to happen, or we're just going to run out of things to talk about. That's happened to us twice already. So one of those two things is going to happen, and when it does, this series will kind of take that spot on Sundays as being kind of the flagship of our channel. The most beautiful thing about this series, and the thing that has me the most excited about it, is, well, several things. But number one, we get a lot of suggestions from people. It's either channel members that put it in the community page, or people comment on the videos. People send me emails. Hey, you should do a 10 things episode on this or on that. One of the most common 10 things topic suggestions I get is carbon and salt. It's a great idea. The idea of doing a 10 things episode on activated filter carbon or activated carbon is a great idea, but I can't think of 10 bullet points about carbon, and I can't think of 10 things about salt. So this is going to give us an opportunity to do those topics that we weren't able to do on 10 things. It's also going to allow us to go back to the basics and not start all over again, but go through everything and do it in this format that we're going to be doing it. And the next thing, probably the biggest thing that I'm excited about, is that you and I sat down, and it took us all of about 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
We came up with 13 months worth of content, 56 topics. And these are 56 good topics too. It's not some BS. Like, I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to offend anybody, but it's 56 good topics. That's over a year, 13 months worth of content. So that's why I was like, hey, you know what? I'm ordering new lights. I'm ordering a new camera. We're getting a bigger green screen. We're going all in with this. So I could not be more excited. I think that it'll help a lot of people. I think the goal would be that it keeps fish keepers fish keeping. That's what I ultimately want to do with this series. And having that as a goal, everything else follows. I don't know if that makes sense, but if your motivation is money, you're never going to make enough money. If your motivation is subscribers, it's never enough. But if your motivation is helping people, or I don't want to sound like I have some kind of hero complex, but if you're trying to effect change, everything else falls into place. The subscribers come, the views come, the money comes, everything. So it all works out in the end, and it's all perfect. So
Phew, my back hurts sitting here being so quiet.
I had so much fun when you weren't here last week because I could just talk and nobody was interrupting me. This is the same woman that when this stream is done, she'll be like, thank you for handling that, because I just wasn't into talking tonight. Or, I want you to do the show. I just want to sit there and be in the background. That's what she says to me.
No, I don't.
And then she breaks my balls when we're live in front of 450 people. Shame on you. Let's let's go through these super chats and stuff like that real quick. I don't want this stream to become the super chat stream. I don't want it to be that, but I also don't want to ignore super chats. Lefty, so happy to see Lisa back. Hope you're doing better. She is doing much better. I can speak for her there. Thank you for that. Robert Egan, nope, got you on the phone and draft on the TV. Yeah, that's good. After the second pick, I don't know what's happened. So, and to be honest, I don't really care. All I cared about was the number 2 pick, Chase Young. Woo! Fish Tank Barn with the usual $5. Yeah, you were worse than the Lions last year, Chase Young Ice Cream Fund. Yeah, that's exciting. It's an exciting kid. I'm excited to see what he does. Basic Aquatics with the $4.99. I'm sorry, I forgot you were live till just now. Have a super chat. P.S. Hope you're feeling better, Lisa.
Thank you.
Very, very nice of you. Gage Faria, what are your and Lisa's favorite Africans? T'Challa. No, I'm kidding. I mean, mine now is the Rostratus. I've changed. I've got a special connection with that Rostratus that I have upstairs that you can't see behind me, but hopefully in the next month or so you will. That's become my favorite fish very, very quickly.
I'd say the dolphin for me. As far as haps go, dolphin. Peacocks, I would say German red. Imbunas, I would say the clown labs. Love those.
Oh, that's cute.
Or the Polids. I really like those. So
I thought it would have been white top afro. I love a white top afros. Clash course with Aries. That's cute. Last time I was on, you mentioned that you made your memberships $4.99. If you click join, it still charges you $6.99. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. That's odd. It certainly should not be. It should be $4.99. I don't know what's going on there. Unless it's maybe like an iPhone thing. Because Apple screws everything up. I'm an Apple guy, but they screw everything up. I can't answer that. Clash course, I'm sorry. That's the first I've heard of anything like that. I don't know why that's happening. And to be honest, that bothers me because I ain't getting that money. So I don't know where that's going. Sand Creek Aquatics with the $2 and the thumbs up. Multi-Tank Addiction is kissing his purple bicep. I love that. Moonstone, say safe, fishy friends with the $10. Just wanted to say
thank you.
Stay safe. Furlough's Fish Room. Happy Thursday, John and Lisa. Hope you guys are doing well. This is a great way to spend a Thursday night. Absolutely. And it's much better than the NFL draft. You might not even be in this country. Well, it's American dollars, so I would say you are.
John, not everybody is a Redskins fan. They might enjoy the draft.
Nah, football ratings are down. Lefty 3-2 again to the Mother Teresa of Animal World, Lisa. You don't even know.
Thank you.
You don't even know. Old Fish Guy, KG Tropicals, and the NFL draft. What could be better? Clash Course with Aries decided, you know what? I'm going to become a member anyway. I hope that it was only the $5. I sure would like to know if it was or not. And if it was actually $6.99, I would like an explanation from YouTube on why that is. I've never heard that before. Kaler's Aquatics with the weightlifting pair with the $5. Thank you so much for that, Bob. Basic Aquatics, back to basics. I've thought of that. I've thought about that for the title of the series.
It's a good one.
The thing is, that really does work, and it works well because we went through and I started like doing titles and stuff like this for all of the different episodes that we'll be doing. And a lot of them have the word basic in it. Substrate basics, aquarium filtration basics, stuff like that. So maybe it's just going to kind of organically become the name of the series. We'll have to see. But thank you for the suggestion. And I've never had this happen while looking through super chats. The chat skipped on me. Simon Harding with the $4.99. Good evening, John and Lisa from the UK. I've finally been able to stay up and watch you live. I wanted to show my support. You're inspirational. Thank you. That is amazing. Thank you. And it's probably the middle of the night where you are. So I am impressed that you came by. Thank you for the support. There's Priscilla. She's driving and lurking. Not only sends us beautiful art, but then gives us money on top of that. It's crazy how this world works. Natalie O'Malley, what's y'all's email? Would love to send you something. kgtropicals@gmail.com. Very, very simple. I get a lot of emails on there and I can't respond to all of them. But we do our best. You respond to more emails than I do. I mean, I've got 2 jobs, blah, blah, blah. Did I miss one? Yes. Johnny Adorcio. I'm sorry. Canadian $2. Keep up the good work and stay safe. Thank you so much. And thank you for the $2. Jay Burke, the message got deleted. Not sure what that's about, but thank you for the $2 anyway. Maybe he was being a smart aleck. Maybe that's what was happening there. Chattanooga Ed, I know how you feel, Lisa. Sometimes I get to talk also. Hey, the co-host role, Ed. I mean,
That's all right. You have your night tonight, Chattanooga.
That's right. You get to do all the talking, and I'm going to troll you for what you just said because that was mean and it hurt my feelings.
It's not.
Multi-tank addiction with the $2 membership costs from different countries, maybe. It could be. I don't know. That just sounds weird to me.
I think he said he was from Texas, though. I thought I read something about he was charged $6.99 and he lives in Texas.
No, that was the other person who had the channel name I Love KG.
Oh.
That said that. What's that all about? Is it like Kevin Garnett? Hopefully it's Kevin Garnett. It's not KG Tropicals because that's just weird.
They love Kevin Green.
Kevin Green doesn't live in Texas? And there it is. It's funny that we say that. I love KG. With the $1.99. What's the largest super chat y'all have received? I was still in the office and it was $200, but it was 2 $100 super chats. So there's your answer. And why is your name I Love KG? Are you trolling me? Is that what you're doing? I think it's adorable. A little weird, but it's adorable. But maybe his wife's name is like Karen. Something starts with a G. I don't know. I can't think of a G name. For some reason, I can't scroll down far enough to see this one last one. And then I want to get into, there might be a couple more. I can't get to it. I don't understand why this is happening. This is very weird. YouTube is a beautiful website until it's not. So we'll probably have to let a couple more come through before I'll see it. I feel like a jerk here.
Wait, is it the very last one? What was the last one?
Let me see. I think it is Jay Burke.
No.
No? Oh, wow, there is more.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, okay, what's the largest super chat? Then we get to Alberto Trujillo. I hope I'm saying that right. What lens did you get for your new camera, John? It is the 18-55 kit lens from Canon. I have not ever upgraded a lens. On my SL2, which is what I currently have, I've used the kit lens forever. And with the 90D, I'll do the same thing. I'm sure I will upgrade lenses eventually, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about lenses. I actually paid today. You caught me watching it. It wasn't weird. I paid a pretty good amount of money for a course on on stuff like that. And so I probably will end up upgrading a lens. I know I want to get a macro lens. But anyway, yeah, I'm just using the kit lens for now. Jay Burke, I thanked you for thanking Trump. Oh, and that Bob Kaler deleted that comment. Bob, come on now. We don't go political here. That was a joke, what I said about thanking Trump, because, Trump just sent us all a bunch of money. That's why I said that. So anyway, but okay, let's move on. I'm going to change scenes here so that I can.
You got one more from Hong Chow.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed that. Been gone a while. Yes, you have. Did I miss the interview when you talked about your past fish store? I remember saying you saying that story was going to be told. Yeah, you did miss it. That was actually Corey interviewed us, and it's on the channel right now, so you can see that. The thumbnail
It's
is
the fish store.
yeah, the thumbnail is a photo of the store, so it kind of stands out. You should be able to see it, no problem. And it's like 25 minutes long, and yeah, there you go. So we put out a call to action to our channel members. Was it yesterday? And we got a ton of good responses of questions, things like that. I don't have them in a particular order. I don't know. I don't know what order these are going to be in. So we'll just have to play it as it lies, right? So first one is from Dylan Rubel. I hope I'm saying your name right. What is something that you know now that you wish you knew when you started the hobby? That's a good question for both of us, because we've never stopped the process of learning. So off the top of your head, what's the first thing that you can think of?
You go first.
But I wanted time to think about mine. What is something that you know now that you wish you knew when you started? This is going to sound very cheesy, and it's going to sound very, very stupid. I wish that I knew day one that the myth that fish only grow to the size of the tank was real, was wrong. Should I start that over? I wish I knew when I bought my first tank that it was not true that fish only grow to the size of the tank. And the reason why I say that is because I put an arowana in a 29-gallon tank and I thought it was perfectly fine because fish only grow to the size of the tank. And what a categorical error that was. Absolutely stupid of me to do that. I learned from it, and I put that fish in a 6-foot tank, and even that's not big enough, but that's what I did. And so I am somebody, I've done this with a lot of things in my life. I just jump in. I learn best by screwing things up. I learn best by just diving in and seeing what goes wrong. And if things go wrong, I fix those things, and then I learn from that. And this is not a hobby that you should do that with, but that's what I did 27 years ago. And so I regret that. I regret not knowing what I was doing before I'm giving you plenty of time to think of your answer. I regret not taking the time to learn what I was doing. Well, the problem was I had one friend that had a fish tank and he didn't really care about it. I had another guy that was just getting into the hobby, so he didn't know anything either. I didn't really have anywhere to learn this stuff from, so I just kind of picked it up on my own. And this was 1993. There was not the resources that we have now. So, yeah. The answer is I wish I knew anything about this hobby when I started. So there you go. Your turn.
I think for me, the thing is, when I first started the hobby, I was with somebody who already went through the mistakes. So I didn't go through that so much because, I mean, I made mistakes like everybody else in the world will make, but, because things just happen. But I didn't start from scratch like a lot of people do. I had John. So this question, it doesn't really apply to me because I had
Because you didn't do it on your own, yeah.
Right. But the thing is, one of the things I really do wish I had done earlier, getting into the hobby, is I wish I had joined more fish clubs. I wish I had gone to fish clubs, that I had been more involved throughout the last 10 years. So that's the only thing that I would change, is being more involved with fish clubs. Yeah.
The problem is we live in King George, Virginia. And if you look on a map and you see where that is,
a club is going to be about an hour north or an hour south, but
hour and a half.
but that's reasonable if you're going once a month. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if I could change anything, it would be being more involved with fish clubs. Really.
Bob Kaler brings up a good point. It would be great if keeping fish were a family tradition and we grew up learning like keeping a dog or a cat. Yeah, you hear a lot of stories like that. J.H. Aquatics immediately comes to mind. He said whenever he tells his story about how he got into fish keeping, his parents had fish tanks. And there's a lot of people that tell that story. Mine didn't. My dad was allergic to everything that shed. So literally, horses, rabbits, cats, dogs, anything that shed. Now, obviously that doesn't have anything to do with fish, but because of that, my dad was not a big animal guy. I mean, he just wasn't into animals at all. Later in his life, and he was 54 when he died, so there was, he was still a young guy, but maybe the last 15 years of his life, he actually did adopt a cat, which was adorable because that cat would follow him around everywhere he went, and he was never able to touch it because, he would end up like in the hospital if he touched cats. So, but that cat was his best friend, and it was a cute thing to see. But my parents weren't animal people. We had dogs, we had poodles, one at a time growing up because a poodle doesn't shed, and my dad was okay with that. So I didn't grow up in that household where there were fish and stuff like that. So you're right. If you grow up in that environment, you're much more likely to understand a thing or two before you go out and buy your first tank. So, all right. Next question is from Old Fish Guy. I'm going to try to make these bigger. I don't know how many of y'all are watching these live streams on your phones. I would assume a lot of you. And so I'm going to try to make these as big as possible. But if you can't see it, it's okay because you can just listen to me read it anyway. Old Fish Guy says, important things to consider when setting up a fish room. Boy, that could have been the whole episode. We could have talked about that.
Right.
I'll go through mine first, give you an opportunity to plan your answer for that. But, you know what? There's so much.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
First, okay. I would definitely suggest, if you can help it and you're starting up a fish room, don't have carpet in it. Have tile or just concrete, no wood, no carpet. That would be my first suggestion, because no matter what, you're gonna overflow a tank.
No matter how careful you are.
It's gonna happen. Even if you don't overflow, you're gonna spill water. Something's gonna happen. Water's gonna get on the floor. Insulation. Make sure it's a properly insulated fish room. If you're in a garage, think about that. Think about the weather. Things change.
The floor, on top of your suggestion, which is a good suggestion, what type of floor are you putting it on? Is your tile on concrete, or is it a third floor in a townhouse with wood floors that the tank could end up going down through the floor?
Right.
I think that the biggest reservation for having aquariums on wood, meaning like a regular wooden floor, I think obviously the best place for aquariums is going to be in a basement or in a garage because they have concrete floors. We all don't have the luxury of having those things. I think the biggest fear with putting them on a regular wooden subfloor is if there is a leak. If you do that overflowing, you're going to do some serious damage to the structure of your house. I think that is more of a threat than the weight of it. The weight is a serious thing, but I think that the water going down and flooding your entire house is more of a serious issue there. But I just wanted to add that to your floor comment there.
Okay. I would say another thing to consider would be your outlets for, like, how many tanks do you plan on having? You need to have your electric, your outlets. You need to have plenty, and preferably up to code, because you don't want to have fire. You don't want to have a fish room fire. But you're definitely going to have a lot of plugs. So you have to think about that.
And you want to think about that before you even put a single tank in there.
Yes, absolutely. Lighting, how are you going to light it? You're going to put individual lights on your tanks, or, some people use the like, we used to use them, the shop lighting.
Yep.
Hey, they worked. They worked. Or you want to go the expensive route and you want to spend a bunch of money on lights, okay. But make sure you have money. Make sure you have enough money to get started, because there's nothing like planning something, getting started, and only being able to do part of it because you ran out of money. So, there's always like Craigslist or somewhere, I don't know if you're in the US, but there's places that you can get things inexpensive. So that'll help as far as cost goes. But starting a fish room can be costly.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'm going to recommend is having a very good plan. Everything that you've talked about is absolutely valid. And these are things that you should plan before you do anything. Where are you going to put the fish room? How are you going to insulate it? How are you going to run power to it? I would add to it water. I know how, that sounds like common sense, right? But if you have this great plan for a fish room and you put your fish room all the way on the end of your house, and then once it's there, you realize, oh, the access to water is all the way on the opposite side of the house. That might be a struggle. Drains, where are you going to drain the water? Are you going to drain it out a window? Are you going to drain it down a toilet or in a shower?
Right.
Or are you going to be lugging buckets? Think about those things before you put a single tank in place. And just have a plan with it. And understand that the plan's probably never going to go the way you expect it to go.
Right.
All right. Next one is another one that's for you. This one is specifically for you.
Okay.
Brenda Schroeder, again, a channel member of ours. Is Lisa going to take everything out of the beta sorority when you move it to the new fish room?
Oh,
will she have to completely rescape? I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on you, because that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Let me tell you, that tank is my biggest stress out of all of them. I think it took me like 2 months to plan that tank. I did a rough draft of this aquarium, what I was going to do, where I was going to put all the plants, what plants I was going to get. I went back and forth with Candy. I spent so much time planning this tank. Then on top of that, individually quarantining a bunch of female betas. I went through a lot with that tank, and I finally have it about 95% the way I want it. I've made some mistakes with some plants. I've had some issues with blue-green algae. I've had some plants not make it because I didn't, do a good job with them. But I guess the thing is with this tank, I finally do have it pretty much where I want it. Thank you, Corey McElroy, for coming here and helping me, answering a few questions and giving me some advice. My tank is finally looking much better than it had been. So I'm very nervous because there's so much dragonstone in it. I have 3 different substrates. I have sand, Eco-Complete. I have regular gravel. I'm worried about that getting all mixed up. I have shrimp and snails. I have so many things in there, and I'm going to have to take them all out. And it worries me. My betas finally, after going through the catastrophe that I did in the very beginning when I had that outbreak and I lost a few fish, everybody's healthy now. Everybody's happy. They all get along. They really do. They all get along. And I'm worried that I'm going to have to take them out. And then when I put them back in, maybe they won't get along. I don't know. That really does concern me. So I'm stressed out about that, on top of, am I going to get it back to the way it was? I just don't want to lose any fish. I don't want to lose any of my shrimp or snails. I probably will do a little bit of a rescape. Things might be a little different. But all in all, yeah, probably going to have to break it all the way down. And that really sucks. So,
as much as it sucks, I think it would be the thing that would suck the least. Because I think trying to carry it down, just take the water out.
It's way too heavy.
It's going to be so heavy.
Way
and I think
too
that
heavy.
you'll be stressed out about that with the, getting it down the stairs, just like I'm stressed out with my tank. I think you'd have a big job on your hands, but I think it would be the least stressful. You take all the fish, you put them in another tank. They're safe.
Not the betas, though. I'm not going to put them in a tank smaller than a 125.
Anyway, we don't need to make the plan right now, but you make sure that
I've
not
got
in a
the plan.
rush.
It's in my head.
What I'm saying is you make sure you're not in the rush of, like, we have to get it all done in an hour. It'd be nice to be able to take it down and set it up gradually and enjoy the process is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
I just don't want to miss any of the shrimp or the snails either, and they get lost in something and then they get smashed or something. That worries me to death. But I have been able to successfully keep shrimp now. That was one of the things that I struggled with, and now I can keep them. But the good thing is, as far as the shrimp and the snails go, I have a tank specifically for shrimp and snails. I'll just put them in that tank. That's fine, as long as I can catch them all. So
now I forgot something earlier. I skipped right past it. The next question that we have, beautiful job answering that, by the way. The next question that we have is from my friend Paul Martin, and this is another guy that just completely spoils us for no reason. He just does it because he's a good guy, and I'll have to grab it, but get home today and there's a gift. There's a package from Paul Martin, and I don't know what we've done to make this guy spoil us as much as he does. This is something I've never seen before. Now, you can't see it right now. You can't see it very good, but right there is an actual LED light up thing of our logo, which is a gorgeous thing. And I usually light it up, and it's not lit up today. It's really, really cool. It's like an acrylic panel that has our logo in it, and it lights up. And then I don't know if you can see it in this or not. Yeah, you can't really see it, but in the background here behind me, he got a piece of art made with slate, which has our Tank Talk logo on it. He does these things. He sent me a speaker with the logo on it, coffee mugs. There's a coffee mug there.
He got me that pretty pink beta shirt that people will say something to me about sometimes. Has betas and I think goldfish on it. It's so cute. I love that shirt.
And today, it was a pillow.
I'm excited.
And a shirt. The shirt is way back there. I'm not prepared. I feel like a jerk. But the shirt has the same design on it, our logo, and the Tank Talk logo for the live stream, which was originally for the podcast. You are trying to commandeer this pillow.
Yeah, it's going to go on my...
I don't think I'm going to let it. I think it's going to go behind my back. I think that's where it's going to have to be. But how cool is that? I mean, a KG Tropicals pillow, really? It just makes me so cozy. So thank you, Paul. You're a special friend, and I don't know why it is that you spoil us the way you do, but I'd like to in some way return the favor by answering your question here. Talking Mbunas, what is the benefit, or is there one, for fry when 1, tumbled in an egg tumbler and raised separately, 2, left with the mother and allow her to raise/care for the fry, ignoring the fact that you might reap more fry from a tumbler. Overall, what will give me the best health / color / size when raising fry? So here's the thing. This applies to all mouth brooding African cichlids. The reason why you would put your eggs in an egg tumbler for one of two reasons. The first would be because the parents aren't good parents, or the mother's not a good mother. It could be that you have a very active breeder tank and there's a lot of chasing around and there's a lot of shenanigans going on in that tank, which causes the mother to prematurely spit the eggs out and all of the other fish eat them up. So there's that. If you keep having that happen over and over and over again, or it could be that the mother is just lazy and just doesn't feel like doing it. She might spit the eggs out after a few days because she's hungry. But the second reason is because you want to produce as many fry as possible. Right. If you are a breeder and you are trying to, hey, don't you get up on there. What are you doing?
No, that's Honey's food.
She smells some cat food over there. So if you're a breeder, you want to produce as many fry as possible. There's two reasons why stripping the female and putting the eggs in a tumbler is going to produce more fry. One is you have a better chance of getting more survival from that brood because you no longer have the risk of the mother spitting the eggs out. You don't have the risk of the mother spontaneously eating the eggs out of protection, because they'll do that. We saw that happen. It's weird. They will eat. They'll eat the eggs because they're freaked out for whatever reason. So pulling them out and tumbling them and raising them yourself, being the brooder of the eggs yourself, gives you a better chance of having more. Plus, when you remove those eggs from the mother, a lot of people are concerned that that's cruel and it's mean and the mother loses her babies. In our experience, and we bred probably 100,000 African cichlids, she forgets immediately. She does not care.
And then she gets to eat and she doesn't have to get weak.
And she instantaneously, not instantaneously, but very quickly goes back into breeding mode. So that's the thing. African cichlids are not, they don't spawn as much as like angels and stuff. Like angels will spawn every 2 weeks. African cichlids won't do that because they have that 21-day gestation period where the eggs will typically be in the female's mouth. If she doesn't have the eggs in there, she immediately kind of goes into breeding mode, and you might have her spawn again 2 weeks later. Yep. So more fry from stripping the females, or it could be because it's the only way you can get them. If you've got 3 females and a male and they keep spawning but it's never successful, that would be a way to get some success. So there you go.
I mean, if they were just in the tank and they spit the fry out, more than likely most of them are going to get ate anyway. So
yep, that is a fact. Okay, now this is one that I think you pointed out that you wanted to address.
Roxy, I have a cat down here. I made up a little area in my fish room that is now a recovery room for the cat that I had spayed 2 days ago. And I have a cage to keep her in so she's not jumping around everywhere and stuff. And Roxy smells her food. I have it put aside for her medication and everything. So she smells it and she's just going crazy because she wants it. And now she knows the cat's over there and she wants the cat. So she's not getting the cat.
All right, let me go through these real quick and then we'll get to that other one because wow, good Lord, you people are so generous. Wow. We are so far behind. Tyler Barton with the $25. Hey, Lisa, missed you last week on here. Glad to see you back and doing all right.
Thank you.
Very, very sweet. It's cool when people say, give us money to say nice things to us.
Well, I wasn't here last week and you explained why. and I thought it was very sweet. I read all the comments, the messages, and people reached out to, send their condolences, and it meant a lot to me, and I really appreciate that because losing a good friend sucks.
Does indeed. I love KG again. Says, no, I really love KG Tropicals. Y'all are the best. Hey.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. That's cool. I don't know that we've had somebody name their channel after us. People think KG Cichlids, they're like, oh, he must be somehow affiliated with KG Tropicals. And he is as a friend. Yeah. But his name's Kevin Green. Yeah. So it's his initials. So he has more reason to have KG in his than us. But yeah, that's the first time I've seen that. So it's going to be a little awkward at first, but I think as this relationship develops, I think we'll be all right. DJ Blaster with the $5. Hey guys, your local Walmart person here. Love your tool vids. First ever donation. Would that be the young lady that is the cashier at Walmart, or is that just a Walmart person? I'm not sure.
I think if it is, we have a picture together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
you. I'm sure Walmart is a very different place to work right now because of everything going on. Hannah Fowler with the $10. You guys are awesome. My wife and I are both nurses, and we find so much joy in watching your videos during this time. We're also new fish keepers and have gained so much knowledge from both of you. That is perfect. That's the perfect super chat right there. That makes it all worth it. And thank you. Thank you so much for that. And hang in there, because I'm sure it is not an easy time to be a nurse right now. I don't care what kind of nurse you are. Whips World with the $10. It is Zach Wild is what I'm going to call him from now on. Do you know how to determine male from female jaguar cichlids? I have 3, and I'd like to pair 2 of them off if I can. If I can figure out what's what, assuming I didn't get lucky and get 3 of the same kind. Yeah, you never really know. And thank you for the $10, by the way, Zach Wild. I don't know. I know people that have bred them, and I don't know that there is like an immediate identifier that they're males and females. I think it's kind of like...
We've had them before, but I just always call them he's.
They just look like a he.
Looks
like a Dovi looks like a male. They all look... Arowanas all look like males. Oscars, they're so derpy and dopey, they look like males. Anyway, I don't know that there is an easy identifier when they're small. I think it's one of those where, just like Dovi, when they get bigger, one is going to be significantly larger than the other. I think in Dovi, is it the females that are bigger? Don't quote me on that, because I don't breed these cichlids, so I don't know for sure. But I don't think there are immediate things like, extreme color variations like you have with African cichlids and stuff like that. But you'll know when they pair off, I guess. And I also don't think that jaguars are the kind of cichlid that you can just put a male and female together and assume they're going to breed. I don't think it works that way. I think they're just like discus and angels and almost every other fish. They have to pick their partners. We can't arrange marriages in the fish keeping world. But again, I could be wrong on that. I would love to know if you figure it out. And, perfect world, you get a male and 2 females, even though they're not group breeders, you have a better chance. That guy's going to shack up with one of those 2 chicks, and you know it. So Brandon Finger with the $5. Hey, John and Lisa, have you guys ever thought of doing a Virginia native species tank? There's plenty of native fish that would be cool. We got a lot of catfish in Virginia. Bluegill are gorgeous. I love bluegill. They're native here. What is the one that's in Lake Presidential Lakes? Is it sun something? Sunspots or something? I don't exactly, but
oh no.
Do I like native fish? Yes, I do. Have we thought about doing a native fish tank? No. Whenever we get another one of my holy grail things that I've always wanted, whenever we get a pond, it would be something to consider there. But I don't know that I'm going to set up a tank for that. But I got a buddy that did bluegill and bass.
Joey?
Yep. And he doesn't do them anymore, but he used to do it. And when the bass would get too big, he would just put them back and catch another one. And, but he's not doing that anymore. He keeps Africans now. So,
Yep.
Adder 108 with the $15. Long-time viewer, first time I've been able to be here live. Just wanted to say thanks for all the awesome information, videos, and contagious sense of excitement about the hobby. I love to hear that. That's awesome. Love it. Just wait to see me once the stream's over, because I'll be like this. These streams wear me out. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. But I'm on for an hour and a half, and then it's just like crash. But thank you so much. I don't put on a character for the camera, but my excitement level is definitely higher than it would normally be if the camera wasn't on. Per Johansson, I really hope I'm saying his name right. 200 Swedish krones. Is that what that is? I don't know what that translates to American dollars, but I don't care, because that's a big number and it's a beautiful number. This is great. Some entertainment after work. 4 a.m. here. Ooh. Love you guys. Keep up and take care. I sure do wish I was saying his name right. Maybe I am. I don't know. And maybe we've already established that I am. I don't know. Aquariums maintained by Andy. Check out the message I tagged you in. On what? Facebook? There's no chance.
Maybe Instagram?
Maybe. I don't go on Facebook. The other day, yesterday, a message popped up on my phone, and I don't even know why it did. It was from somebody that I'm friends with on Facebook that I don't even know, but they're a friend of mine on Facebook. And it was the exact reason why I don't do Facebook. The dude put a picture of his dinner plate. I'm like, I don't care what you're having for dinner. I don't. This is why I'm not on Facebook. And because people are mean. Kaler's Aquatics with the incredible. What happened that's incredible? What did we miss? $5? Maybe it's the pillow. The pillow is incredible. Maybe that's what he was saying incredible for. Priscilla MK Art with the new membership. Yay, she's been a member before. She's spoiling us tonight. And listen, folks, I want to put forward a little call to action. I never do this. Let me do some quick math in my head. Three. We only need 3 more members for me to achieve a particular milestone that's going to be a really big deal. It's not what you think. It's not I get a bonus or anything like that. No. If we get 3 more members during this live stream tonight, between now and 10:30, when Chattanooga Ed takes over the live stream, not on our channel, but on his, we will be back to the number we had before we made the change to memberships.
You know what?
And that's a big deal.
I'm changing the subject because I'm not sure if Candy has the link, but Priscilla has a link so that you can buy her art.
She already put it up there.
She did. Oh, okay. Thank you, Candy.
Yeah, she put it up there when we were showing them. I saw that. That's Candy.
Sure.
I mean, come on.
I know. What was I thinking?
We know.
I know.
We know. And don't worry if you are the person that had that question up there. I'm going to put it back up as soon as we get through these. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. But, we got to get through these here real quick. And I just realized it's been up there the whole time. Jacob Wilson with the $5. You guys helped me get started in this hobby with your outstanding content. Keep up the good work. That's what I love hearing, because that's what we're trying to do here, is trying to keep people in the hobby.
Yep.
Just wait for our new series. It's going to be perfect for that. That's the whole goal behind that. Sand Creek Aquatics with the 13 thumbs up from 200. Oh, let's see. Did we get to 2? We're 1 shy of that. So
cool.
How about that? Thank you for that. DJ Blaster, again, $1.99. It is. I still have that pic, ended up framing it. She framed it. What a sweetheart.
Sweet.
That's cool.
So sweet. She really is.
I remember meeting her one day when I was checking out, and then you went in and you were like, "Oh, you'll never believe it. Somebody recognized me." And I was like, "She recognized me a month ago."
Yeah, but she took a picture of me, not you.
Melissa Jeswald. This is a sad one with the $5. RIP to my last Golden Wonder Killy River, who met his end by getting into the impeller somehow.
Oh, that's terrible.
I saw your post about that. You did. I don't know that you went into detail, but you did say something about how can fish get into impellers. And I think it might be one that I have actually screenshotted here to talk about tonight. I'm sorry for that. That is a huge bummer. I've had that happen before, and I've had the exact opposite of that happen before. I've had the clean out the canister filter and find fry in there. I've had that before.
Yep. Yep.
That's
But that's a happy
one.
ending, yeah.
I had that happen, and it was OB peacocks. There was 2. It was when I lived on the farm.
I remember.
And the fish was snow white because that fish had probably never been exposed to light before, ever. Yeah. And we had that fish for a long time. That fish was one of the survivors, or at least I think it was one of the survivors that we kept for a very, very long time. So yeah, sorry to hear about that. Killies are definitely small. They shouldn't be that small that they can get up into impellers, but you know, they're Houdinis, that's for sure. Okay, we got some members signed up here now. Rafin oh man, you signing up as a member and I can't even pronounce your name. Rafin Locator. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Welcome to the team. Super glad to have you.
Thank you.
Severid Paladin. I hope I'm saying the name right. This is an easy one. Well, no, it's not. Casey Bissick is how I'm going to pronounce the name. Bissick. I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, yell at me and I'll deserve it. Cheryl Fenning with the $1.99. Also nurse here. Thank you for my favorite escape. That's a beautiful thing. Round of applause for all of our medical staff here, folks.
Yes.
And it must be another nurse. Mobile, Alabama RN also became a new member. Hung Chow. Just got done watching the store interview with Corey. If you get serious again and are looking for investors, let me know. Don't say that. Don't say that. You might regret that. As much super chat money as you throw around, you probably do have the money to invest. Don't get me started on that because I sure would love to do something like that again, but you know, we'll have to see. Now's not the time to do it. That's for sure. But I would love to do something like that again. That's a whole other video. Jay Burke and FNS Fish Room also became members. And this means 8 during the stream.
I'm pretty sure you reached your goal.
It is official. We've actually surpassed that number. And that's a big deal for me, folks, because it's not even a money thing. I know that sounds weird, but you have this number and then you make a change and that number gets cut by 2/3. That's a hard sell. That's real hard. I knew it was going to happen. We knew instantly that it was going to happen. So it wasn't a surprise, but it is such a beautiful thing for that number to be back up to where it was when we made that change. So thank you to everyone that became a new member tonight. Very, very cool. If there are any other super chats that come through, we will get to those. But I want to get these in here real quick because I had Tina's post up here for a long time and I never read it. We just talked over it. This one is for you. Multi-tank syndrome is what she wants to talk about, but then says, but seriously, how does Lisa do maintenance on all those little tanks crammed together? How do you fit your Python empty outer filler upper into those little tanks? How does she gravel vac around the plants? I feel like little tanks are so much harder to maintain than big tanks.
And they are.
There's definitely truth to that.
They are. And I'm in the process of breaking them all down and just doing 10 gallons as the smallest tank that I have. Right now, I think I do have a 5-gallon. I do. I have a 5-gallon planted tank for a female beta currently. And that's the smallest tank I have right now. All the other ones, I already broke them down actually. And I put the fish in 10-gallon tanks because it's just so much more work more often. It seems like everything gets overgrown, the algae, just everything. Smaller tanks are harder to keep up with. And, you have to do the water changes more often because you have less water, so the poop is going to get the tank nastier quicker. So What?
I just kept hearing something. It must have been Roxy pushing up against it with her nose. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The dog wants to get back there to where the cat is.
Yeah.
Roxy,
but anyways, as far as cleaning them, I use buckets. I don't use a Python, obviously, because the water would be taken out and everything else really quick. So I use a very small siphon. It's about
empty outer.
It's about this big and about that big around. It's teeny tiny, so it gets in between everything a lot easier, and I don't suction up like too much stuff. So, and a bucket. I lug buckets. I still lug buckets. And then I use that water for my plants. So that's what I do. But again, I'm really not a huge fan of the smaller tanks anymore just because of the work. I want everything to be consistent. I want to keep just all 10 gallons and just have everything consistent, even if they're planted tanks. I just want to make sure they're easier to take care of than the smaller ones. So I do apologize. I'm kind of breaking up a little bit. So
yeah, maybe stop smoking 2 packs a day and you'd be all right.
I don't smoke.
She doesn't smoke.
I have
folks.
asthma. I can't smoke.
So one thing I want to add to that, this is I've been keeping fish 20 something years and I just figured this out the other day. When we do water changes in these tanks down here, we use the small empty outer for draining the water, but then we refill them with the Python. If you have multiple tanks and they're all right next to each other and you don't want water to get all over the place, a little trick that I've learned, they're small tanks, they're 10-gallon tanks, and we're doing, maybe 3 gallons worth of water. So we actually have the water turned down very low and it's coming out slow because you don't want to overfill them. So the water's coming out slow. So what I do when I'm going through and refilling them, I'll hold the siphon tube, and then when I'm going to move it to the next one, I just turn it vertical and it starts filling up. But while I turn it vertical and it's filling up, I can move over to the next tank and just dump it and fill the next tank in. You never have to turn the little switch on the Python. The Python, in my opinion, is one of the best inventions that's ever been created for the fish keeping hobby. But I had something happen one time, and it has haunted me ever since. We have extraordinarily high water pressure in this house. And I'm one of those people, like when I'm doing the water changes in my big tank, I like to get that water screaming in there to fill it up as much as I can. We're doing 180 gallons.
Not me.
I want to fill it up as quick as I can. And I remember doing a water change one day, and this was before the garage. All the tanks were in the house. I was going from my office to the bathroom where the Python was hooked up, and I had turned the Python off on the hose, and the pressure built and built and built in that hose. And about 5 feet before I got to the bathroom, it exploded. And it was terrible.
I came home to that.
So, I mean, it was water. I mean, it cleaned up no problem, but I've always been scared of that happening now. So I don't like turning the water off on the hose. Our bathroom is right here. It's right behind Marie sitting there. So it's easy for us to just run over there and turn the water off. But when I'm filling up all of those tanks, I just take that, hold it upside down. It starts filling up, go to the next tank, dump it in, and you're ready to go. You never have to turn it off. You're not running back and forth to the bathroom or anything like that. I just felt like I felt like a smart person for figuring out that little trick. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. I'm going to do this real quick because Matt Man B is a guy that is always been very supportive of this channel. We see him all over the place. Ammonia spikes and how to handle them. I want to do this real quick. This is, again, another thing that was put through the community post that we put up to channel members. Be on the lookout for a channel, a membership, members only video tomorrow. It's actually going to be a tour of the garage. So be on the lookout for that. Ammonia spikes. The number one piece of advice that I can give for ammonia spikes and how to handle them is figure out what caused them. Ammonia spikes don't just happen. They don't happen for no reason at all. They happen because something has either gone off or you've made a major change, adding more fish. Maybe you got rid of fish, but you're still feeding the same amount. So there's a lot of uneaten food in there. Maybe you haven't done your maintenance. Maybe you haven't done a filter maintenance in a long time. There's something that is lacking, which is causing the water chemistry to go all out of whack, and your bacteria can no longer keep up with the ammonia that's in there. So figure out what has caused it to begin with. And if you figure that out, then it's a no-brainer of how to fix that. If you realize, oh, I didn't even realize it. I got rid of 7 fish, or maybe 5 fish died, or whatever it is. I took all of those fish out and I moved them into another tank, and I am still throwing the same amount of food in there. Maybe you're overfeeding the fish. Maybe you're lacking on your maintenance. Maybe the tank was never cycled to begin with. Maybe you cleaned your filter out too much. Whatever it is, when you figure out what it is that the change that has happened to that tank that has caused that ammonia spike to begin with, it's very easy to figure out how to resolve it. So there you go. Let me get through these last super chats. I know that was quick, Mattman B. You're a big supporter of this channel. I apologize, but hey, I didn't forget you. Butch Gorski with the $5. One of our green dragon pleco babies met the impeller god as well. Yeah, that is sad. I mean, you know, the intake sponges can definitely help that out. They clog up pretty quick, though. You got to be on your game with those. But yeah, I mean, that's a story that unfortunately is all too common. William Kane with the $2. What kind of paint do I use inside of the aquarium? None.
No.
You don't put any paint inside your aquarium. You put it on the outside of it, and you can literally use anything. It really doesn't matter. We just use, I go to Home Depot and I say, I want the cheapest paint that you have, and get it colored black. That's what I do. And it's never failed me. And actually the cheaper, the better, because when you want to change your mind, it scrapes right off and it's no problem. A lot of people like to use the Plastidip, which I've never used, but I've heard good things about. I don't know anything about it, but I know a lot of people use it. Okay, there's a member here that I didn't see. Michelle Bissick. Is that 2 people with that last name, or was that a super chat before? I sure do hope I'm saying your name right. Welcome to the team. Be looking for that members only video tomorrow. You now have access to that and all of the other members only videos that we've done. We've done like 40 of them. Terrence Blanton with the $10. Having a 3-level nano rack for 2 years has proven difficult with maintenance. Thought about tearing down and putting them all on their own stands in a row for much easier access. Yeah, that's the struggle when you have multiple tanks. You have this idea of how cool it would be to have all these tanks, and then you set them up and you realize you have to take care of them.
Yep, you have to take care of them.
And that's a bummer. But yeah, there's, you know, it's part of the deal. It's multi-tank syndrome. Chad Krotz, appreciate the stream as always, catching y'all on Chattanooga Eds. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for a lot of high rollers tonight. A lot of $10 and $15.
I just thought of something that is very important to mention. It's a happy, happy thing. I want to say congratulations to the fish nerd and welcome to the fish fam, Chloe.
How did we not remember that until
I did
2 minutes
remember.
before the end of the stream? Yeah. You haven't met Carlos in person. Yes, you have.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. I haven't met his wife though, but because I didn't go to Aquashella.
Right.
I was so excited for them, and she's so adorable, and I love the name Chloe.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. I mean, I remember talking to them about it. You know, we've got a lot of experience. So he asked me some questions when we were there, and just a good couple, really good people.
Yeah.
And subscribe to his channel. Get him like a whole bunch of subscribers to celebrate his child being born. Yeah, super happy for him. Super happy for Chattanooga Ed tonight for getting the opportunity to take over Rack Stream. What?
Did you finish your super chats and
Yes.
stuff that I interrupted? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Is there a hashtag for Eds? Oh boy, what are we gonna do?
Chloe.
How do you spell it?
CHLOE.
CHLOE. Hashtag Chloe.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how it. And you can spell it however you want to spell it. If you spell it wrong, then you spell it wrong. Did you see him in here tonight? I mean,
no,
he's too busy.
Probably sleeping.
He's too busy. He ain't sleeping. He's got a newborn.
No, he's probably getting his sleep when he can.
Yeah. But anyway, this was a lot of fun, folks. Thank you so much. Head over to Chattanooga Ed's going to be a lot of fun over there. It's his very first live stream that he's ever done on his channel. He's been a co-host on a lot of channels. He's never done his own, so excited about that. I'm going to crash for a few minutes and then I'll be over there. So see you all over there. Thank you for hanging out with us. And what?
I wanted to say thank you for hanging out with us.
All right. And Tyler Barton came through with the $20. I have to address that. Good grief. What would you recommend doing? Curb aggression tendencies between Bolivian Rams and German. Oh, this is out of control here. I don't want to take up Chattanooga Ed's time here, but I've done several videos, Tyler. He paid $20 for this. I've done several videos on fish aggression, Bolivian Rams and German Blue Rams. That's a very different fish, even though they're both called rams. I would probably separate them because the German Blues are so small and docile and the Bolivians are so big and rambunctious. I would probably just go ahead and separate them and call it a day. It's probably going to be your most successful way of handling that. Hung Chow Tiger Goby seems new to the hobby. Love them. That's all I have to say. Yeah. Gobies are cool because they look like little dinosaurs swimming around. So
I have some gobies.
Yep. Sorry for the last minute there mentioning you all, but thank you so much for the last minute cash flow. Very cool. So thank you all so much. And here it is. River Life. Look what he's doing. He's just doing this to troll me is what he's doing. I was on the phone with that guy till 1 a.m. last night, and now he's trolling me at the end of my stream. Thank you, Rack. Thank you to everyone so much, and we'll see you over on Ed's stream.
Bye-bye.